People complaining about feeling bored, not having enough to do. It's weird. It's weird that people would even think in that sense. Like, I genuinely had comments yesterday from someone saying, yeah, I'm already bored with the game. I hate the world quests. I don't want to do the world quests because I don't give a shit about the renown. I done a couple of Mythic Plus, I did some raiding, and then in the very next breath, they go, I had a lot of fun in the last 2 weeks, guess that's fine. I'm like, yeah, that's how you want to play, you know? You enjoyed the quests, you enjoyed the story, you did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you did everything that you enjoy, and now you're taking a break. That's fine. That's how MMOs are meant to be played. You're not meant to play an MMO day in and day out. Some people do, and that's fine. You know, they just love every single element of the game, and if that is you, hey, more power to you. But the fact of the matter is, MMOs are supposed to be a buffet. You take what you want, and you enjoy it. And once you've had your full, you move on. And then you come back when new stuff has been added. And this is really where we get to the roadmap. I don't know if you guys saw this. I really wanted to talk about this roadmap because the roadmap really is just, it's phenomenal. It might be one of the best things Blizzard have ever added into the game. So before we even start talking about what is in this roadmap, the fact that there are roadmaps now, the fact that Blizzard actually did what I have said for such a long time. You see, roadmaps give people things to look forward to, but even more so, it gives you as a company something to live up to, and also usually leads to a little bit of early feedback. So right now, you know, you look at this and you can see that every single one of these patches have a new zone. Every single one of the large patches, patch 10.1 and patch 10.2 has a new zone as well as a new raid. Then you have, you know, all of these smaller patches, which is phenomenal. So if we look at the most early patch, the one that's coming next year, January, I think, we have the trading post, Primalist tomorrow, and white and gray transmogs. That's pretty cool for a lot of people, you know, finally being able to transmog white and gray items. I think is going to just open so many doors to new transmogs, new looks, and things like that. So I think a lot of people can be excited by that. I don't quite know what this Primalist Tomorrow thing is. Let's see if they explain it here. It's been an inspiring month for the World of Warcraft team as we've watched the world soar over the Dragon Isles, defend their renowned allies from the Primalist threat, stay a while and listen to tales of regret, craft inspired items, delve into dungeons, and make vast, vast quantities of soup. The soup is wild. But this tale is just beginning. A WoW expansion is not a single moment in time, but a journey. We know that the merit of an expansion hinges on the sustained quality of its entire arc. Years after its release, Legion is remembered fondly as much for the 11-week content update cadence that served as the framework for its first year as it is for Artifact Weapons or Khadgar's brilliant dad jokes. In planning out the road ahead following the release of Dragonflight, we've been mindful of the duty we owe our players to nurture this living world and, frankly, the need to do better than we have at times in the recent past. I think memories immediately come back of 9 months of content droughts, with the content that immediately followed those 9 months being not great, shall we say. So it's nice to see that Blizzard is taking all of this to heart and actually realizes that to make a successful MMO, you see, the thing is, it's not by accident that the previous employees of Blizzard reached what could only be described as celebrity status. You know, when Mike Morhaime walked on stage at BlizzCon, people would erupt in cheer as if it was a fucking famous movie star or a singer walking out on a stage. When Chris Metzen would walk on stage and be for the Horde, you could hear the electricity. People loved those developers. And the reason they loved those developers is because in turn, those developers poured their hearts and their souls into the game. And yeah, sometimes they had missteps. Sometimes they made a couple of mistakes here, a couple of mistakes there. But they were always trying to be at the forefront of what pushes MMOs forward. This is why World of Warcraft for so long was the reigning champion of MMOs. And it's nice to see that the developers now have realized they have to do the same. If they want to get back to the days of being deified almost. They're gonna have to pull it out. Like, they have to show us that they care. Okay, so in planning out the road ahead for Dragonflight, we're mindful of the duty shortly after the last one is live and in your hands. In total, we are planning to deliver 6 content patches, fairly evenly placed over the course of 2023. This will include 2 major updates, the traditional pillars of our expansions, with new zones, raids, and seasonal rewards. But between those, we want to keep expanding and evolving our world with new world events, updates to systems, and evergreen holidays, new dungeon experiences, new narrative chapters, and cinematics that can serve as epilogues or as prologues to the next major step in the adventure. And, most importantly of all, more opportunities for us to respond to feedback and change or add elements based on what we're hearing is most needed by our players. So just to very quickly explain this, looking at the season pass, 6 all in all. So you have 2 smaller ones that's coming, 10.0.5, 10.0.7. In 10.0.5, we get the Trading Post, Primeless Tomorrow, and White and Grey Transmogs. And then, of course, in 10.0.7, we get Return to Forbidden Reach, Human and Orc Heritage Armor, and Holiday Updates. I love the idea of more stories in between the large content patches. One of the things that's very bad, or used to be historically very bad, as a World of Warcraft fan, but mostly someone that plays the game for the lore, is that, in between the major patches, there's no story whatsoever ever. You're basically holding out until you can get to the next big patch, and then usually what you get is about maybe a week's worth of story that's sort of time-gated to shit, and then that's over again, and you have to wait for the next story to unfold. So it's really nice that Blizzard is realizing, and I don't think many people are understanding just the level of new story we're getting, because here's the thing. We're getting new story in patch 10.0.7. Okay, Return to the Forbidden Reach, almost definitely going to come with some kind of quest line. But then you have a new zone that's added in Season 2, 10.1. That comes with new quests. Just guaranteed. That comes with a new story, new everything. New raid comes with a new story, new everything. So that right there, massive new story coming. Then you have a mega dungeon, which almost definitely always comes with new stories and new quests to do. New world events, which probably will come with some new story and some new quests in order to explain, why these new world events are taking place and so on and so forth. Then, of course, there's the content and system updates that's going to happen as a result of that. And then in 10.1.7, we have story and quests that's being added. Like, just straight up. A shit ton of new story and quests. And I think the only reason they're doing this is they don't want to give away the name of the area that we're returning to, so much like Return to Forbidden Reach, they don't want to give that away just yet. So they're just telling us we are adding new story, new quests, holiday refreshes, and then again content system updates. And then we get 10.2, which is a new zone, new raid, new PvP season, new Mythic Plus dungeon pool, additional content and features. Dude, if Blizzard can pull this off, this is going to be insane. Why? Because looking at this, it's immediately obvious to me that Blizzard have taken... I don't want to say they took my advice, because I don't think they listened to me. I think they just realized what I have been saying for a really long time, which is if you make smaller patches with content more frequently, it's much easier than making infrequent, massive patches. Because the thing with massive patches is there's so much that goes into a massive patch. So many things that have to work together that it can really slow you down. And if it goes wrong badly, because this is a massive patch. There's a lot of new things. When you do it smaller scale, more incrementally, growing the level of availability of content over time, it's much simpler because there's fewer systems at any given point that you have to coordinate and figure out how these things are going to play together. So I love the idea of these things happening. And then, of course, we have... in total, between those elements, we recently announced the upcoming 10.0.5 content update, which should go live early next year, bringing with it the Trading Post system, which allows players of all playstyles to earn a wide range of fun cosmetic rewards of their choice. I want to say this so clearly because everyone needs to hear me, even the people in the back. This is not a battle pass. Like, seriously, I'm gonna lose my shit the next time someone DMs me and says, oh my god, did you see World of Warcraft has a fucking battle pass again? Like, what makes this a battle pass? This is a progression system. And more importantly, it's a progression system that we have been asking for a really long time. I have said since the dawn of the cash shop, I don't mind the cash shop if it was possible to earn the items in the cash shop in the game. And that's exactly what the trading post offers. You're not being asked to do anything wild or weird or crazy. It's going to be the things that you already do, but now just gives you even extra rewards. Like, even more rewards are being given to you as a result of this. And more importantly, they're making sure that you don't have to suffer through things like FOMO, because you can reserve one item every month to roll over to the next month. So if there's both a pet and a mount that you really want in the trading post, but you can only afford to get one, well then get the one, lock the other one, and get that one next fucking month, right? So it literally takes care of the whole FOMO thing of, oh my god, I want 3 things, but, well, okay, if you want 3 things, you're going to miss out on one of them, but that will come around again at some point. But the fact that you can sort of lock one item, at least from the trading post, in time for a month, means that you should technically always have something that you're working towards, something that you're looking forward to. And some months, and this is what I think a lot of people don't really understand, some months there might be things that you just don't want, right? Which means that month you basically get the points and you just wait for something else to come along until there is something that you actually want again. So I think it's good. I don't know why people are complaining about the fucking... I don't know. I don't understand the complaints. Maybe it's just because they really like complaining. Okay, so allowing poor quality and common quality items to be acquired as transmog appearances. Wait, I didn't read that correctly. With new zones, the holidays, dungeons, new narrative chapters, cinematics, the conserves epilogues. Okay, we recently announced the 10.1 that should go live, bringing with it the training post system, which allows players of all playstyles to earn a wide range of fun cosmetic rewards of their choice, as well as finally allowing poor quality and common quality items to be acquired as transmog appearances for those who prefer a somewhat humbler look, and a bit of a new world content in the Primalist Tomorrow area. I don't know what that is, but it sounds fun and interesting. Shortly after that is in your hands, we'll release the 10.0.7 content update onto our public test realm. 10.0.7 will contain a new quest campaign and repeatable world content set in the Forbidden Reach, as the Drakthir return to their place of confinement, along with some unexpected guests to learn more about their origins and their destiny. This content will set up the next major chapter for Dragonflight, and by its conclusion, it should be obvious what our next destination must be. Alongside this new content, we also plan to add quest lines for human and orc cosmetic heritage armor, update some of our recurring holidays, and more. There will also be a 10.1.5 and a 10.1.7 content update coming in the second half of the year, bridging the period between our second and third major updates. We don't want there to be any specific formula for the size or shape of these updates, but the goal is simply more Warcraft, more story, more content, more rewards, more events, more tech improvements, with less downtime between them. I don't want to spoil everything, and I'm confident that there are at least a couple of surprises coming along the way with that no one is expecting, and some of the details simply aren't decided yet, because your feedback will help shape exactly what we prioritize in these updates. We're honored and humbled by the reception to Dragonflight so far, but this is only the start. For me and the entire development team, please accept our wishes for a happy, healthy, and peaceful new year, and we can't wait for you to see everything we have in store for Azeroth in 2023. Now, to those of you that is already bored and, really upset because you don't get to play the game and you don't get to play the game all the time, this is the start of the expansion. I imagine that by the halfway point, you're gonna have so many things to do in the game that if you really wanted to keep yourself busy, you'll have more than enough to keep yourself busy with. But sometimes it is nice to take a break, go outside, play another game, spend some time with your friends or your family, do something else, and come back when you're good and ready. That way, you'll always be excited to return to Azeroth. And for that, I am grateful. I'm excited for this. I want to know what you guys think.